where some 200 IRS employees work, the Associated Press has just reported in the last minute that emergency crews have now found a body in the wreckage. They won't tell us whether it's the pilot, in fact, if they even know. The impact and the explosion which followed blew out windows and sparked a fire, billowing clouds of smoke, black smoke sent into the air. Here's how witnesses to the crash described what they saw.
And it came actually right over top of us, which is probably the only reason we noticed it, because it was flying so low.
It looked like he was just flying. It was smooth as can be.
I flight instructed almost 400 hours that type of plane, and that engine was going full blast.
You're thinking to yourself, where is he going to land?
It's swooping in, and it's getting closer and closer to the apartments, but it was like it's going to crash.
And the next thing you hear is this really loud explosion.
Just from the explosion, we knew the people in the plane didn't make it, or however many people were in there, but it hit an office building.
We heard a loud sound and felt a thud, and we just thought, wow, a big bird must have hit our building.
Sure enough, it was, see the tail sticking out. He was laying on the ground, and the building was engulfed.
Everybody was pulling over on the side of the road, and there was people running out of the building.
We just thought it was a completely random occurrence, and so we just, assumed that there were people working in a building. All of a sudden, the plane lost control and crashed into a building, and there was nothing that anyone could have done about it.
Of course, that's not what happened at all. Investigators say they are now looking at a website linked to the pilot, Joe Stack, on which he apparently wrote about his problems with the IRS and concluded violence is the only answer. And law enforcement officials say Joe Stack apparently set fire to his house shortly before that plane crash. Tonight, the Red Cross reports it's helping 2 people who lived with him. Nancy Zambrano of our Fox affiliate KTBC, Fox 7 for Austin in the area, joins us live outside that home tonight. Nancy, what do we know about what happened there?
Well, Shep, we know that it was about 9:25 in the morning when Austin firefighters were dispatched to this house you see behind me. They said when they arrived, they saw the house was engulfed in flames. The windows had all been shattered. They said that when they first got here, they couldn't actually get in the home because that fire was so aggressive at that point. They said also when they arrived, they did see a woman and a 12-year-old girl who are now believed to be Stack's wife and 12-year-old daughter. They said no one here was injured. They have not told us yet the cause of the fire or where it originated, but as we now know, after reportedly setting the fire here, he then crashed into that building not too far from here, about 6 miles from here.
And folks who live around there must be having a pretty hard time wrapping their heads around all of this.
That's correct. And if you are in this neighborhood, you see people jogging, walking their dogs, mothers with their strollers. It's a very tight-knit community and a very quiet community is what we understand from neighbors. In fact, through the day, they've been walking around here just wondering what was going on and very shocked about the fact that their neighbor has created all of this today.
All right, thanks very much for the live report from the scene. Nancy Zambrano, station KTBC Fox 7 in Austin. Now, beyond the headlines, and a look at the recent attacks against other government offices